Hello, welcome to today's video. We're learning how to crow pose. If you're unfamiliar, I'm going to demonstrate it here. It's an arm balance where the knees are perched on the back of the arms and we balance on the hands. Your arms make up the legs of the crow and your body makes up the body of the crow. So talking about logistics here, the first thing you want to make sure of is that your wrists are nice and warm. For any arm balance where you're putting all the weight on the hands, you really want to make sure your wrists are warmed up. So I do that by just taking some circles and placing weight on all different parts of the hand, going in little circles here, then taking the fingers out towards the side and rocking back and forth. If you have the flexibility, you can also point the fingers backwards and stretch it that way. Then interlock the fingers and roll out the wrists one direction and then the other, just to make sure everything's nice and warm and loose. Okay, talking about hand placement on the mat, you want your pointer fingers to be pointing straight up to the top edge of your mat. As you rock your weight forward, you want to press the part of your palm that connects to your index finger into the mat and sort of bend the knuckles like spider legs. This helps take a little bit of that weight out of the wrist and into your palm. A few alignment cues that have really helped me, I can kind of combine into one movement. So the cat back you make when you're doing a cat and cow in your practice, where you push the mat away and spread the shoulder blades, is exactly the movement you want to emulate when you're in a crow pose. You're pushing the weight into the mat, spreading the shoulder blades, and really making room to tuck your legs underneath you. From a standing forward fold, bend the knees enough to place the palms on the floor in the hand position we talked about. Compress your thighs to your stomach and then place the knees in your armpits. They are not going to stay there, but you want to start there and have them as high as possible. As you rock the weight forward, bend into the elbows to make a little shelf for your knees, and then take the gaze about a foot in front of your fingertips. Slowly raise one foot and then maybe try the other, and try to tuck your heels towards your bum. Again, pressing the mat away and spreading the shoulder blades, compressing as much as possible, tightening the core, and then come down the same way. Here's a few ideas you can use for props. If you're scared of falling forward and maybe landing on your face or on your head, take a pillow, place it right in front of your hands. It's also a good thing for you to gaze at while you're trying to balance. This way, if your knees slip off of your triceps or you just lean a bit too far forward, you have something soft to land on. Another option, if you are having an issue with your knees slipping off your arms, is to use a strap or a rope tied around your arms. So you want to make a loop and then have it just above the elbows, kind of on the bicep tricep area, to keep your elbows from splaying outwards. So you're going to keep it there as you practice. It also helps to keep your knees from slipping downwards, but it keeps your arms really steady. Another option is to use a block to practice lifting your feet off the mat. So place it between your feet as you come into your position, place the hands, and then as you rock your weight forward, practice picking up one foot at a time and placing it on the block. If you can get both feet onto the block, then you can practice lifting one foot at a time, tucking it towards your bum, and just keeping the weight high, and then maybe trying both feet at the same time. There's lots of fun ways to use crow pose in your yoga practice. I'm going to show you a couple here. One of my favorite ways is to use it as a transition in your vinyasa, jumping back to chaturanga. So taking your crow pose at the top of your mat, you'll balance here and then shoot the feet straight back, keeping the arms and elbows bent and landing in your chaturanga, transitioning through your up dog and then downward facing dog. Another fun one, if tripod headstand is in your practice, is to transition from crow pose, bending deeper into the arms, placing the head down, and then taking the hips high into your headstand. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions that I didn't cover here, drop them in the comments, and I'd love to answer them. Have fun practicing your crow pose.